Hi. Excuse me. Today we're going to start with, or take a look at how to use, develop a project, think about a project, then use openproject to actually schedule that project out and to identify tasks and to develop or find, I should probably say, the critical path. So our scenario is, what we're going to do is take a look at a computer lab, and we're going to upgrade that. Now with upgrading that, we're going to go from a main, just a kind of a generic computer lab that might just contain, the Microsoft Office products, and we're going to go ahead and put AutoCAD in there, and maybe Dreamweaver and Flash and some of those other higher end applications. So what we've determined at this point is really the different kinds of things we want to do. We want to determine the software requirements for our lab. Do we want AutoCAD? Do we want to go with the Creative Suite, Adobe Creative Suite that includes Fireworks and Flash? And what do we want to do? Do we want to use SolidWorks with AutoCAD? So we're going to do a little research into that, and that duration is 2 days, and how practical 2 days is or not, I don't know. But we've determined, though, that we have to do that first. So there's no predecessor. Now, we're going to initially determine the software requirements. Now that we've determined those requirements, we're going to research high-end applications. So, for instance, if we use AutoCAD and we want to run SolidWorks with AutoCAD, what kind of computer system is that going to require? Now, the duration, 3 days on that, we've determined, and we have to determine first, the predecessor is task number 1, or determine software requirements. We have to determine what those software requirements are first. Once we figure out what the research high-end apps are, we need to make a purchasing decision. That'll probably take a couple of days, because you'll probably, with a computer lab, you'll probably bid that out, I imagine, and ask for quotes. So, again, looking at the predecessor, we have to have completed actually tasks 1 and 2. So let's go ahead and edit that, tasks 1 and 2. Okay. Build new PCs. So that purchasing decision is made. Build and ship new PCs. Now the idea behind that item is that we go to Dell and we ask them to build a customized kind of computer for us. So that's what that is. Now 7 days is way too short, obviously, but that's a good time frame for us to use with openproject. And then we have to figure the predecessor in this case. That PC or that purchasing decision has to be made first. Now, we have to remove all the data from the old lab hard drives. That's probably going to take us a couple of days. Now, really, at this point in time, we start to make this purchasing decision. So we know that 2 research high-end apps has to be completed first. Now, once we take a look at these predecessors, we may want to change the predecessor around just a little bit. Now, because that's 2, our purchasing decision is made here. Probably that should actually be 3 as a predecessor task. Because what can happen, people can still be using those machines during this time frame. They can still be using those machines in that lab during that time frame. But about this build and ship new PCs, we'll have those machines in just a little while, a few days. And so we probably, once this purchasing decision is made, then we can go ahead and start removing data from the old lab hard drives. Now, next, remove computers from lab. So the task 5 has to be finished first, and it'll only take a day to complete. Task 6. Now, we get those computers in, and we're going to put them all together. So it'll take us 2 days to do that, but tasks 4 and 6 have to be completed. So we have to get those new PCs in, and the old ones have to be removed. And then finally, once those new computers are assembled, task number 7, install operating systems and apps and configure them. That'll take a couple of days, and task number 7 has to be completed. So with that, we're going to go to openproject. And this is, once you install openproject and you create an open project or a project, this is what will come up initially. Project name, and this, we're going to call this MIS computer lab update. Okay, and you can put some notes in there or whatever. This is what you end up seeing with openproject. And it's on my computer, it tends to be a little slow to respond. So my first task, though, is determine software requirements. I'm just going to copy that with Control-C and paste it. Okay, and by default, it's going to come up with 1 day duration with a start and finish time. I don't care at this point in time about the start and finish time, but we do care about the predecessors. Now this 1 day, let's go back and look at the schedule we figured out. So that should take 2 days. So I need to change that to 2 days. Okay, second task, research high-end apps. I'm going to copy and paste that. Again, by default, it comes up with 1 day. We wanted a duration of 3 days on that. So I need to click into there and make that 3. Valid duration. Imagine that. I just have to spell the day right. 3 days. Okay, and because we've built this previously, I'm going to put all the tasks and durations in first. Purchasing decision will take 2 days, and then I'm going to put predecessors in. Build new PCs. Okay, and build new PCs, let's see, 7 days for that one. Notice the task numbers are appearing automatically here on your left. Now remove data from old hard drives. We'll paste that in. How many days? It was a 2-day job. 2 days. Okay, remove computers from lab. And it just takes a little time to punch all this stuff in. That should be task 6. And that's 1 day, so that's fine. Next is assemble new computers. And that was 2 days. Okay. And then finally, install the OS apps and configure it. Paste that in, and that's going to take us, again, 2 days. All right. So we see these are all of our tasks. They're on the same line, so we can see exactly which task is. I'm going to change this so we can see that just a little bit better. Now for predecessors. This is where the critical path is important, and the whole project time frame is important. So for task number 1, no predecessors. For task number 2, number 1 is a predecessor. 1. Okay. Now you notice how it's shifted. So 1 has to be complete, then 2 can then be started. For task number 3, 1 and 2, and notice the syntax, 1 and 2, that's a semicolon, 1 semicolon 2. And so it shows us in order for 3 to be started that both of these have to be done. Both 1 and 2 have to be finished. Okay, so where are we at? We're right there. Task 4, number 3 has to be completed. For task 5, 3 has to be completed. Okay, and notice this is a longer task. This is 7 days. This is the critical path. Even though this task is in task 6 is in parallel, it is not the critical path. And remember, the critical path is the shortest duration possible to complete a project, which comically is the longest duration for the tasks that are initially defined. And again, those tasks can run longer possibly as well, but it's we're moving to task 6, remove computers from lab. 5 has to be completed. We'll enter 5. Okay, assemble new computers. 4 and 6 have to be completed. Okay, and then 7 has to be completed on the last one. Okay, and what we see here in red is our critical path. Remember, these projects that end on a Friday, they do not show a rollover on Saturday and Sunday. Any project, though, that continues from Friday through Monday does show this rollover on Saturday and Sunday. So the actual work days, this is showing 9 actual days, calendar days, but it's actually 7 work days. So be aware of that. Same with this particular task. It's rolling over from a Friday to a Monday. Now, another view on this, we can go to another view, and this is our critical path right here. And it has a little bit more information specific to each task. And we can change the size on that and work that around a little bit as well. So that is your critical path, or basically we can use this as a PERT chart. Although it doesn't look exactly like what it would look like in a text in the examples, this would suffice as a PERT chart. Just a point of clarification, in our example we had an example from our PowerPoint. We had an initial task here, but then we had 2 tasks, even 3 tasks breaking off at the same time. So that shows us a little bit of something different than what we saw in the initial PowerPoint. So that's how to use, and of course you just file and save. And I think these files save as a POJ project file format. So that, in a nutshell, is how to use OpenProject. Okay, thank you.